So last week we talked about storytelling poses and key poses. After that video, I worked on the key poses a little bit more and then moved on to the breakdown poses, which you can see here. I might have gone a little too far on the key poses because once I got here to the breakdown poses, I didn't really need to do a whole lot. I guess one thing I will say is if you spend a lot of time getting those key poses solid, and I mean everything, like hands and fingers and facial if you're doing that, the next few stages should be much, much easier because so much of what you need is already worked out for you. So that being said, here's what I did at this stage, the breakdown stage. At the beginning, I worked out kind of a little antic here where he slaps down the opponent's hands. That was not in the key pose file. And also at the end, I've got a little bit of a settle where you can see the red guy's legs go from being up here in the air to falling down. Like I said, I didn't have a whole lot to do at this stage. So now I'm feeling pretty confident that I have all of the actions worked out and I can move on to the refining stage. The first thing that I do here at this refining stage is hide the reference. I don't need it anymore. You may have noticed really that throughout this whole process, I haven't used the reference as gospel. I use it more as a guide, keeping that freedom to add or subtract things that's going to make the animation work better as a whole. So now in this particular exercise, I'm going for something more realistic than cartoony here, but I'm not just copying that reference or copying life. I'm trying to make it better than real life. So here's what I did during this stage. First thing that I did is I moved from step mode to spline mode, so you can see that the animation is smoother, not so staticky pose to pose to pose. Also, I reworked the timing. Some parts work better or look better happening faster because it gives it more impact. Particularly you want this thing where he drives his opponent's leg into the ground and drops him. You want that to happen fast. That's going to help give that a better impact, make it feel more powerful. And then probably the last thing that I did was made sure I got rid of the twinning in the arms and the legs. An example of this would be here, the red guy at the end. His arm lands first, and then his screen left leg lands, and then finally the screen right leg. So if we quickly go over the whole process once more, we started with the storytelling poses, kind of the main poses of the shot or the foundation that kind of shows what is the main action and a main action that's happening. Next, I moved on to the key poses, which is kind of just fleshing out that foundation, putting in a few more needed poses to tell the story. And then moving on to the breakdown stage. Here you're kind of defining how are you getting from key pose to key pose. Is a certain part moving faster than another part? Is a leg trying to swing in quickly? Is it trying to swing in slowly? And then the refining stage. And here's where I got rid of the reference entirely. I had all my basic movements down, and I just needed to, refine things. I adjusted the timing, try to get some offsets in there, and just, move from step to spline. And if you bring them all together here, you can really see the progression. Now I'm just doing this as an exercise, so I'm probably going to stop here. If I was going to make this a demo reel shot or something like that, I would then move on to the polish phase and really tighten everything up. I'll add a quick little bonus section here to the video this week because I'd like to continue highlighting some of the tools that I use with Maya, particularly AnimBot. And quickly here I will show what they call select sets. Now, there's a lot of pickers out there that you can use, but I like to use this one because it's already part of the Anabot tool that I'm already using. So when would I use this? Anytime that there's a control or a group of controls that I need to select frequently. So fingers are a good example. So here I'm over looking at these, and I've got these 4 individual finger controls. Now, once I got into a shot and there's all these poses and sometimes the hands are hidden, I'm spending an awful lot of time orbiting, panning, zooming the camera before I can select this control for this finger. But if early on I select this control and I make a picker for it, right now it automatically takes the rig's name, but maybe I just want to shorten it to left finger 1. And I like to just drag it up here. I can change the color, I can rename it, I can do all kinds of things. I can add more to the selection, I can remove stuff from the selection. Basically, you can just have all kinds of things ready here up at the picker so that somewhere down here, I can't see that finger control. All I got to do is quickly select it. There it is. You can see that I have selected that finger. And that's it for this week. Thanks for watching.